Welcome back to the 55th ever episode of the Iced Coffee Hour. My name is Tiffany Ma, and so far we've made $67,800 on this episode. On this podcast.
Wow, she put a spin on it.
I hope it happens one day.
That would be amazing if we could make $67,000 for an episode.
That was so much pressure, I'm not going to lie.
Really?
Yes.
You did great. I will say that's probably the best one we've had so far.
Don't hype me up like that.
No, I'm serious. It was great.
Jack rarely says that, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
good job.
you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, coming all the way from Los Angeles.
Yes, it was a 5-hour drive.
Really? Wow.
Did you do that this morning?
I did do it this morning.
Oh, we did that too.
Yeah, we did. Actually, wait a second. No, we were an hour ahead of you. So we went to Los Angeles briefly yesterday just to support Meet Kevin. He's running for governor of California. You got to vote for Meet Kevin. Vote for Meet Kevin. But he was holding a rally in Venice Beach. Mm-hmm. And last minute, we decided it would be a really good idea to go down and surprise him. So
that's good friends right there. Yeah. I also can't believe he's running for governor.
Yeah. And he's serious about it too. People were actually messaging me on Instagram and saying, I didn't know he's serious. I thought it was like a publicity thing. I thought he was doing it for clicks. Like, no, he's actually serious. He's really doing it. He's running.
Do you know who the other candidates are other than Caitlyn Jenner?
Gavin Newsom.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Do we say his name here? Do we say his name?
I don't think it's say his name.
Okay, yeah.
We can bleep out the name as well.
Yeah.
Kevin calls him Gruesome Newsom.
Why is that?
He's not a fan.
He's not a fan. It makes sense.
It's his opponent.
That makes a lot of sense.
So we should probably give you a little bit of an introduction before we proceed. Yeah. Graham, you like saying the story.
Yes. Okay. So Tiffany Ma, you are a YouTube influencer.
Yes.
YouTuber.
Yes. And you posted a video a long time ago. Maybe like, what was it, 2 years ago?
Probably.
How you bought a $1.3 million house at 25 years old.
Yes.
And in that video, I reacted to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget at the very end, I said you clickbaited us because you never told us the details of like how expensive the house was.
Yes.
So you gave basically your entire story of how you got started, how you made money from YouTube, you saved it up, you bought this house in Los Angeles, and it looked like a really nice house.
Thank
by the
you.
way. So I reacted to it and I'm like, you didn't give us all the details. Then you made a video of, what was it? How you spend your money?
It's how much I spend in a week, I believe.
Yes. How much you spend in a week. I reacted to that because in that video, you went down your house expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And both of those videos, by the way, did extremely well on our channel.
Yeah.
They really
well.
did.
They were all ones.
Better than mine. I was like, Graham is making more money off of me than I am. Which is so embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me. It's not. It's really good for you guys.
So this also happened with. I felt so bad for Shelby Church. She would put like days of work into these videos that I would just knock out in like 30 minutes. And the video that I would react to in 30 minutes would like triple the views of Shelby's original video and make like double the amount. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. But, I mean, mad respect for you for figuring out that reaction videos do so well.
So we realized, like, wait a second, we're onto something because 2 videos in a row from your channel did really well. So we're like, how else could we extract value from this channel? And what did we do? What was the next one?
You posted another video.
It was how much I spend in a month.
As a homeowner.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So then we did a third one.
Yes. So yeah, we're not going to stop at 2.
No.
Go 3 for 3.
Oh, man.
How much I spend in a month. And that video exceeded our expectations.
Did
really well. And then you realize this and you're like, you know what? I'm going to make a response video to Graham. Mm-hmm. So then you respond to me. And then I'm like, now it started. Because now that you responded to me, I got to respond back to you.
You know what? I was jealous. You were making so much money off me that I was like, I need to make money off of Graham somehow.
It's smart. And by the way, all of these conversations were happening through YouTube. We had reached out like briefly, maybe a year ago, saying like, oh, you know, we should all just grab dinner at some point. But everything else beyond that was like through YouTube. So I would hear your response, record myself responding to you, post it on YouTube, then you would respond back.
Yes.
We did this like 5 times and it was very successful for our channel. So now this is the first time we've met in person.
This is amazing. So hi.
Hey, so thank you so much.
Wait, the story doesn't end there.
Oh, let's continue.
You didn't force me. You really tried to get me to make a video that I was really uncomfortable making.
Wow.
But I did it because you said that I should do it. And I said if I got 5,000 likes, I would make it, which was...
But first, I want to thank this video's sponsor, Morning Brew. Before I discovered Morning Brew, my morning routine consisted of me endlessly scrolling through social media or staring at Elon Musk's Twitter page to see what crypto he decided to plummet that morning. But now, I'm subscribed to Morning Brew.
Morning who?
Come on, Graham. I said Morning Brew.
Oh, duh. Morning Brew. Oops, I am so dumb. Wait a second. Jack, did you write this script?
Morning Brew is a free daily newsletter that's delivered all week. It catches me up on business, finance, and tech news in just 5 minutes.
Traditional news is so boring, and with my tight work schedule, I need something that is easily digestible and won't take me all morning to read.
That's why Morning Brew is relative and informative while keeping it concise and to the point, which I absolutely love. Something really helpful I've learned on Morning Brew is that lenders have been calling employers to confirm you're working from home, which is super helpful because I'm actually looking to buy my first house. And I really hope they don't call Graham.
They better not, because I won't pick up.
Right. Anyways, there is no reason not to subscribe to Morning Brew if you're interested in business, finance, or tech.
Plus, it's completely free and it takes you less than 15 seconds to subscribe. Seriously, guys, I've been using Morning Brew for well over a year and I absolutely love them. I read pretty much every single newsletter every single morning, and I really want them to be able to sponsor us again. So go and click that link in the description. Go and subscribe. You're not going to regret it, and enjoy.
How much money I make in a month.
Yeah, that's right. $40,000 a month. I feel like that's on the low
60.
end.
Was it 60?
It was 60.
I thought it was 40.
No, that was
60.
Kelly Stamps.
Kelly was 40. Gosh,
Right.
I've been confusing everybody. $60,000 a month. But I feel like that would be on the low end. It's gotta be.
What it is? It's my sponsorships really fluctuate, which is the number one thing I hate about what I do, which is why I would love if the majority of my income actually came from AdSense, because it's very, very steady. No, my some days I have really, really good months. Mm-hmm. Some days I don't get paid for 4 months later. So is it the same for you? Because I know you do sponsorships as well, but do you get paid 3 months later?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was one that I'm never going to work with again. We'll bleep it out, Alex.
To know.
Yeah. It has been terrible. I will never do them again. They're a fantastic product, but just bleep out. They're a fantastic product. I actually really like them, but as far as having them as a sponsor, we'll never do it again.
How long did they take?
Like 4 or 5 months.
That's a long time.
It was terrible.
Wait, that's bad for you guys?
Yeah.
That's bad.
That was
4 or
bad.
5 months?
Yeah.
Who's your agent? Who's your agent?
So I was with WME, but I'm no longer with them, and I just have a manager now.
You should. I feel like it's not the brand's fault. It's the agent's fault if it's taking forever.
So the story I'm gonna say is actually before I had an agent or a manager, and I used to have a fake manager. I was smart but dumb in some ways. I would pretend I would have a manager so that I could actually ask for more money. So my girl's name was Lisa Bates. I'd get the incoming email and I'd be like, yeah, let me send it to my manager. My manager's name was Lisa Bates. I'm not going to lie, trying to make her sound as Caucasian as possible. And she would be the one dealing my deals. But
wait, so you were catfishing? So you're pretending to be the manager?
And I worked with massive brands catfishing. Like I'm talking about Fortune 500 companies catfishing them, and then I finally got a manager. But
you should have done Lisa Gates
or like
Lisa
Schwartz.
Bezos,
Schwartz or something like that. You know.
I mean, I honestly, I look back.
Lisa Musk.
I think what it came
you
from
can't
was,
mess with Lisa Musk.
What was that movie with Christian Bale where his last name was Bates?
American Psycho.
There you go. Yeah. I think I just watched it and I was like, Lisa Bates is it.
There you go.
But we'll bleep this out. Didn't pay me for a year and a half. And then they paid me.
Wow.
It was a $10,000 brand deal. This was before I had a manager. So $10,000 to me was so much.
Right.
They only ended up paying me $7,000.
Why? No
a year and a half later.
Why?
I don't know. I even emailed them being, this is $3,000 short. They never responded.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you land those like mainstream media like brand deals?
You know what it is? I think it's because we're different types of influencers. I definitely am more of a lifestyle influencer. So I work with 17 magazine, Vogue, Target, these massive actual Fortune 500 companies. And I think it's just the type of content that I produce. So if you see my Instagram, I think my photos are cute and good. And I'm also very relatable because at the time I was in college. And I don't know. That's a really good question. I think of that every single day. I can't believe Target wants to work with me, especially since I cuss now. I find it very surprising.
Let's go all the way back. How did you get started doing all of this?
It's a crazy story. So I was 16 when I started. I watched a lot of makeup videos on YouTube and I was like, I think I can do makeup as well. I could not. Terrible makeup artist. I'm not even a makeup artist. Terrible makeup applier in general. And then I graduated high school, went to UCLA. I was consistently making videos maybe once every other month. My senior year of college, I got a full-time offer for $60,000 I was business economics. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place right now. There's so much to this story. Okay. So my junior year between senior year, I had a summer internship for a pretty big accounting firm. They gave me a full-time offer. It was $60,000. And then that February, right before I was graduating, both my grandparents passed away. Oh. And I had a midlife crisis. So I remember crying. I actually called Tammy, who's sitting over there. I was like, Tammy, I don't want to do this job. I think I want to make YouTube videos full time. But the problem is I only made $11,000 or $13,000 the year before.
That's not bad. Like, that's pretty good.
That's true. But going from $60,000 in a cushy career-driven job where there's a corporate ladder that I can climb versus $11,000, I was like, I don't know if I'm throwing away a career just for YouTube.
That's an 85% pay cut.
Oh, that's
good math.
Yeah, that's good math.
Is, yeah. Imagine that, Jack. 85% less. You wouldn't be able to eat all the fast food he's eating. Right?
That's a reference. Don't even.
Well, thank God that a year later I was making six figures, so it ended up being perfectly.
So you went from $11,000 to $100,000 in 1 year on YouTube? How?
I grew so fast. I think I graduated with maybe 100,000 subscribers, and then it grew to about 600 to 700.
So how much were you making with 100,000?
$11,000.
Wow.
Wait, so when you quit your job, what was that like, by the way, quitting?
I emailed the guy and I was like, is there any way I can defer my offer? Because I actually technically didn't start till October of 2015 after I graduated. Okay. So we were able to defer it to October 2016 because they absolutely loved me. I'm a biggest kiss ass. I love talking to older people. I genuinely just like love to get to know people. So like all the partners loved me and they were okay with me deferring.
And you just decided I'm going to dive headfirst into YouTube.
Yes.
So you never rejected the offer though?
You just deferred it.
I accepted, which is the biggest no-no you can do at UCLA. They tell you all the time that if you ever get a job offer, never accept it unless you don't accept it. Yeah. Because it takes the job away from someone else.
Right.
So definitely a mark on my transcript there. But they actually emailed me in July 2016 asking if I was coming back, and I said no.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're probably very unhappy with me.
How often were you posting? Like, what was your...
Once a week.
Once a week.
After
what was
I graduated.
The financial situation like at that time? Like, how were you able to support yourself and save and make YouTube videos?
But the year after I graduated college. Yeah. So actually, I convinced Tammy to move with me in a loft in downtown LA in Skid Row, right behind Cecil Hotel.
Wow.
Yeah.
That, by the way, I think I watched... What was that? It was on Netflix about the Cecil.
Yes.
It was I highly recommend anyone that wants to watch this thing. It's a nail biter.
And I lived right there.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my view, was the Cecil Hotel.
For those that don't know, the Cecil Hotel is located in this area of a lot of like transient sort of people who come in and out a lot. And there are a lot of people who go missing from this hotel just because of the area it's located in. And the whole story was about a tourist who stayed at the hotel. And then you see this footage of her kind of going kind of nuts.
Oh, is that the one of her like in the elevator?
Getting in and out of the elevator.
She was in the water tank?
She
was in the water tank.
they find her in the water tank and they try to discover what happened to her, and they try to trace back like where did things go wrong. Really, I don't want to give it away.
Crazy.
But yeah, watch it.
There's a Netflix documentary on
Yes.
that. Is there a solution, or do they just leave it as an ambiguous ending?
It's like a 99% confirmed solution, but like there's maybe that 1% chance where like that's not what happened.
Yeah, I've seen like top 10 scariest real life horror stories, like YouTube videos on YouTube, and that's always like
it was freaky, like watching her in and out of the thing.
Like freaky. She was like looking out of the elevator too. Trying to hide from someone,
and then they found like some like foot, so there may have been like someone else there. Watch it.
It's definitely a good series.
Have you been to the Cecil Hotel?
I have not, but I watch by it all the time since I lived right there. But that's not even the scariest place I've ever lived at. Okay. Surprisingly, I've actually never told anyone this, and I don't know why I'm telling you. I'm getting vulnerable. We're getting we're getting deep. Okay, we're getting to know each other.
Mid-roll ad right here.
Shout out to the Clips channel. So you know what, Tiffany? We actually just made a Clips channel for this podcast.
Nice. Wow, that's amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
That's perfect.
Yeah. It's linked down below.
Welcome back from the sponsor.
Welcome back from the sponsor. That's right. So the scariest place I've actually lived at is when I grew up. I grew up in the ghetto. So I think a lot of my fans or followers think I've had a cushy life. I didn't. I grew up behind a trailer park growing up until I was about 8 years old.
What location was this?
So this is Sacramento, and it's in a neighborhood called Broderick, which is actually one of the worst neighborhoods in Sacramento. So yeah, so I've seen some things growing up as a kid.
What made that part so dangerous? Scary.
So there's gangs in that area for sure. Yeah. And then there were deaths and drugs in the trailer park right behind us. So, I mean, I grew up in Section 8 housing. So I don't know if you're familiar.
Very.
Yeah. So, I mean, my family was on food stamps. I was living with my grandma with my sisters at the time. So I didn't even live with my parents, which is very, very common if you're Asian. Like in the Asian culture, a lot of your grandparents will raise their kids, or your grandparent will raise you.
Why is that? Because I've seen from my Asian friends, is they're all in one household. So it's like a multi-generational household where like the grandparents will live with the parents who live with the kids. But is it, why do the grandparents raise the children?
Well, my mom was an entrepreneur. My entire family are pretty much entrepreneurs, and thank God that my parents and my family got us out of that situation. But they actually moved to New York. They only took me, weirdly. And my two older sisters were still in Sacramento, and they went to school out there. And then my parents got divorced when I was 4 or 5. And then I got sent back to Sacramento to live with my sisters. And I think I don't know why. I think it's very odd. I could never give up my kid and make my mom watch them. But, you know, I think it's a different culture thing, and it's yeah, I can't explain why.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you think that childhood experience has affected you today? And your thoughts on maybe like money or relationships or something like that?
You know what? I think I'm good with my money until Graham Stephan makes videos about me, and I'm like, fuck.
You are good with your money.
You're good with your money, but I make everybody look bad with their money. Though.
You make me look so bad.
You could be like a financial minimalist, and I'd be like, wait a second, they spent 15 cents more than you needed to.
Yeah.
See, I definitely think I'm pretty good with my money. I made a pact with myself when I was in 4th grade to never ask my parents for money ever again. So I have not asked my parents, my grandparents, anyone for money since I was 8.
How does that happen at 4th grade though?
You know what it is? I hate to call out my other sister. My other sister, oh God, I hope you're not watching this tree. So my other sister is, she would always ask my parents for things, and she knew that we didn't grow up with a lot of money. So I could just see the stress on my mom's face, and I'm definitely very empathetic, and I definitely grew up a lot as a kid. I think I grew up really fast as a child in the situation that we were in. There's a lot more trauma with that as well, but I just saw how much my parents struggled that I didn't want to be a burden on them. So not to say that they never gave me money. If they gave me money, I would never deny it. It was just that I would never ask for more on top of it. So like if I wanted to go on a field trip that was $25, I made sure that was my own $25 that they had given me prior. It wasn't like I need $25 for a field trip. It was like oh, like thanks
you
for
gotta save and budget. And,
yeah. So I've kind of been like that my entire life. But you make me look terrible.
Oh, jeez. All right.
I'm calling you out, Graham.
Now I feel like Graham's just a bully, making all these videos, getting more views.
No,
just
it's
like
amazing. It's
pushing.
amazing. Don't feel bad. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm so sorry. That's not my.
So Skid Row. So let's get back. So you're living around Skid Row. At what point do you leave that area, move somewhere else?
I only lived there for a year because I was making 6 figures, and I was like, I can't live in Skid Row. Although I will say I was never scared to live there. Like, to be quite honest, I never locked my doors. Like, we had it unlocked all the time. But my sister moved out. She moved back to Sacramento, and I moved to South Park, which is kind of a more bougier area of downtown LA. And I had a really nice 1-bedroom apartment for about, I think it was about 2,000 square feet for, I think it was 3,400. That was definitely a splurge for me at the time. I lived in Leimert Park for about a year after that, and then I moved to my spot now. Do you know where my spot is?
Yeah, it looked like
we found it on
West
Google
Adams
Maps
or something. Right?
Yes.
Like around that. Because I used to be, so I lived in West Adams. So
Wait,
and I've seen all of the houses around the area. But I looked around all of those areas. I've seen everything because I was obsessed with just trying to find good deals in that location. And I was in Escrow briefly. And I listed the house for like 1.5. And I got an Escrow 1.550. And it just had so many issues. And the seller was like giving me shady information, like stuff that if you were a seller, you would have known about these things, but like I can't say that the seller was like lying about it, but you should know if the house is on a septic tank or not, right?
It's on a septic tank?
Yes. So there was a guest house that was built on the property that the seller said it connects to the sewer line. So I said, okay, I'm going to get my inspection done. Turned out there was no sewer line to the guest house. The guest house was on a septic tank, but that whole area wouldn't permit for a septic tank. So the septic tank was put there illegally. The guest house, they had no record of any permits ever being pulled for the entire guest house. And they quoted this square footage that included the garage. I'm like, we don't include garage in this square footage. A lot of the house is not on public record. They had no record of this stuff. And a lot of the renovations were done without permits. And it was like, so much that's like just wrong with this property. I asked for a huge repair, like $100,000, basically a credit back for all of these issues. And they told me no. So I backed out. Now, the final joke was on them because they ended up, then the illness hit.
Yeah.
They took the house off the market. And I was like, look at that. Took it off the market. Well, guess what? They put it back on the market and they sold it for like 1.8 during the illness.
A sucker got it for 1.8.
Yeah, I would not have paid that. It was a gorgeous house. Like visually, when you walked in, to me it was a 10 out of 10.
Graham is trying to find the photos of this old house. I was gonna actually buy a house with my ex-boyfriend. Didn't work out.
Why would you buy a house with a boyfriend?
You know what? It was just like the next step. It was like,
wouldn't the next step be getting married?
You would think so in my head, but in my head, I really wanted a house. I was at the point where I was sitting on too much money and it made me really uncomfortable. And I was like, I need to put this money somewhere. And I didn't know how to have that conversation with my boyfriend where I wanted it by myself. So it wasn't forced, but it was like, I'm trying to be nice and pretend that this is going to work out forever type situation. But he's amazing. I wish him nothing but the best. But we were in El Sereno. We found a beautiful house and we put an offer. We were in escrow for about almost 2 months because they could not get it. I forgot what the license is called. An occupancy license?
Occupancy permit?
Oh yeah,
certificate of occupancy.
There you
is
go.
What you call it. Yeah.
They couldn't get that, and I remember. So while we were signing escrow, I saw this guy's name who was the seller, and I looked up his name, and he used to work for the LA City Council. I don't even know if I should be saying the story. And I find out there's a lawsuit against him because he he partook in illegal activities while he was sitting on the council. So either way, it turns out that once we were going to get the house, the neighbor was planning on suing us for a land easement because our walls were on their land. So they told us this 2 days before we were closing on the house, like 2 days before we were putting money in the house. My ex-boyfriend and I were literally sitting at Wells Fargo. The line was taking so long that we were like, okay, we're just going to actually send over our payment tomorrow. It was like the rest of our down payment, like the other 17% of it. And literally the next morning we find out that the neighbors were going to sue us once we got the house.
That's a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we broke up a month later. So it was just like,
why do you guys? What happened? Now I'm just curious.
no,
what caused the breakup?
nothing bad happened. It was the breaking escrow. I don't know if that's the right term.
Yeah.
Made me it was a wake up call for me that, like things weren't happening the way I wanted them to, and I was just kind of going with the flow when I shouldn't have been.
Yeah. That's a blessing in disguise.
100%.
But yeah, I'm with Dave Ramsey in this. You never buy a property unless you're married with somebody else. I would never do that with like a
So you bought this by yourself, I'm guessing? Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Until you're married, you don't buy a property with somebody else. Yeah.
Well, in Colorado, I don't know if you saw that I was in Colorado in February for a whole month. When we were doing the back and forth, I was in Colorado. We were out there to find a house with my boyfriend. A different boyfriend.
You're trying to find a house with a boyfriend again?
I've never, yeah.
Would you?
I'd say he's the one for me. Like,
he's the one.
The feelings I have
How
towards...
long have you guys been dating?
We've been dating for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you want to get married, or is that something it's more of just like a partnership?
Would we want to get married? I guess, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about getting married for sure. But for like next steps, we both wanted to have a house in Colorado for our future kids. So I thought it was just good timing, but it turned out it was terrible timing. The market in Denver, Colorado is so hot.
Right. I don't know. I'm maybe old school. I think maybe marriage.
Yeah.
And then you buy a house together.
So what about kids? Like you'd want to have like...
I'd want to get married first before having kids.
Do you guys live together? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we live together, yeah. But I was to say, like, if I was to have a kid right now, I wouldn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, okay, like, our plans are changing a little bit, but that's fine with me. I love the idea of getting married, but I don't need a ring on my finger at the same time. Although, Matthew, if you're watching this, I'd still love a ring. I don't know which camera to look at. I'm looking at all of them.
That one's on you.
You got to propose, man.
Matthew.
Oh, yeah, if you do it, make sure to do it on the Family vlog.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we can monetize that.
I'll send the footage to Graham.
Yes, please. So here you are today, $60,000 a month. Where are you investing it right now? Where's it going?
Oh man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sitting on a majority of it in cash and just losing money on it. I don't know what to do with my money. That's why I wanted to buy a second home in Colorado.
Well, tech stocks just dipped, and so did cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
You buy Dogecoin at like under 30 right now.
I think it's at 27.
Yeah.
So why do you want to buy the property in Colorado? What would that do for your money? Would you rent it out?
So you've lived in LA. All the schools in LA suck. Mm-hmm. Unless you live in Culver City or any of the other areas that are really hard to purchase in. So I want kids in the future, not anytime soon. And I just wanted a good school system, which is in Denver, Colorado. My boyfriend right now used to live in Colorado, so he absolutely loves it. And I've fallen in love with it because it's definitely a very outdoorsy space. We can go snowboarding, I snowboard. So, I mean, I just was like, if I have, $500,000 in the bank right now, I should put it somewhere that will make me more money. So we were hoping to actually purchase a vacation rental. So it would be like an Airbnb, but also our second home at the same, like a vacation spot for us.
Got it. I would diversify because you have your house in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I think putting more money in real estate in another location would be a little bit too concentrated on real estate.
Really?
I do more stocks.
Yeah.
How much money do you have invested in stocks right now?
I think about 180. Yeah.
Yeah. I would get that up.
Yeah.
Especially, let's say if you have 500,000 in.
Well, luckily
cash.
we're doing a video where
We are,
you get to spend $10,000 of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
Explain it. Explain this to Jack.
That's the video content?
Yeah.
Wait, just spend it or invest it?
Spend it.
Spend
on
it.
myself.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
No, you're
I'm giving
kidding.
him $10,000.
To spend on myself.
You're kidding.
100%.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She's giving you 10 grand?
I'm buying
To spend
followers.
on myself because she said like I never spend money on myself, so I have one day to spend $10,000 on myself.
Are you kidding me?
No,
No.
it's a video idea.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel terrible.
Why?
Because we made all of those videos, like my beef with Tiffany, and then she comes here and she brings toys for your pets, and she's
Yeah, I
giving you
know.
$10,000 and appearing on a podcast. Jeez, oh my gosh,
Oh, man.
you were
The
too kind to
infinite
me.
monetization loop.
Oh my god.
That will be on my channel. Make sure to watch it.
Yeah, go to Tiffany's channel. It's linked down below, and you can see that video of Graham spending money. Do you have
I'm
any
very
idea?
excited for this.
Me too.
Are you guys gonna get in the car and go shopping and stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Gucci.
Yes.
You're kidding.
Louis Vuitton.
Hermes, Louis Vuitton.
You're joking.
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford anything at Hermes for like 10,000.
Is that expensive?
Hermes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta deck you out with like an Hermes belt.
Absolutely
or
not.
something. Yeah.
No, absolutely
The
not.
big H right there.
Yeah. Hermes is one of these spots where everything just 10x the price of everything.
I thought Louis Vuitton was the most
No.
expensive.
No. Hermes is one of these things where you have clothing from Hermes that you know is from them because it's so like out there and vibrant. But they also have stuff that you would have no, like that shirt could be like Hermes. You'd have no idea, but it would be like $900. But you would have no idea because there's no logo, there's nothing on it.
Do you know what a Birkin bag is?
That I don't know what it is, but I remember that one guy, Alex.
Alex Pardo.
Yeah, he like buys them, but I don't know what they look like or what the logo is or.
Oh, it's just like it's a bag that's actually an asset because it just appraises in value over time.
Oh yeah, it's like a purse.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
they're
Hermes
made
is
by
similar?
Hermes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Jeez.
Yeah, they're nuts. If you want to spend $25,000 on a bag,
Yeah.
that oh, by the way, I've heard stories that you can't even go in. They're like the high-end Rolexes. You can't go in and be like, I want a Rolex Daytona. They'll laugh at you. They'll laugh. You can't go in and be like, I want to buy a Birkin bag unless you're like a really good customer of theirs and they're reserved.
So what do they
Yeah.
say at the door? You like try to walk in there.
We don't have any available.
You have to start by buying their scarves. They don't even let you buy their normal bags because they have more than just Birkin bags. But you slowly have to just build
What do you have? Do you have any?
from Hermes. I'm so good with my money. I don't have anything.
How much does your outfit cost?
Oh man, vintage, $20. If we're not counting my rings, like $50, $60.
That's pretty good.
What about the rings? Because I see one Cartier. It looks
Two
like
Cartiers and one Tiffany's. And
And how much?
I'm not gonna lie,
How much are the nails?
I did my nails myself.
You did?
I've
That's
gotten
really
so
good.
good
I
at
was
my
looking at
nails.
these.
Macy would love that.
Yeah. Macy would go nuts over this. I thought that was like $100.
Yeah, that looks
Nail.
incredible actually.
Fun fact, I
Yeah.
used to want to be a hand model when I was a kid.
Really?
Yes, but no, my nails, I've done it myself. No one's interested, but I'm showing Jack and
That's
Graham my nails.
incredible. Are those nails real?
Yeah, 100% my nails.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're not.
So those
Bet.
so they're not
No,
like
they're not. Those-
extensions?
There's no way. Those are not your actual nails.
I'll bet you $100.
Those are your actual
Yeah,
nails.
I'll show you a video of my nails before.
That's
I paint them.
crazy.
Wait, so you don't have any sort of like extension
No.
on that?
Oh my
No.
gosh.
I have
Can
very
I see?
healthy nails. Yes. My nails.
Wait.
Hold on.
Is it?
You can see underneath.
What? Oh my God, it is. Wait,
how
and
do you
there's
see?
nothing.
Let me see.
There's nothing because you could see the like
You
the.
normally can see the growth. I actually only started coming to terms with the fact that I used to be really poor maybe 8 months ago. Like
Really?
when I went to UCLA, all of my friends' parents, I was the only person I knew that didn't have divorced parents. Or
That did have.
that did have divorced parents. You're
Yeah.
right. And I remember, not to call out my little, I have a little. I don't know if you're familiar with like sorority life or fraternity life. You have
I hear
a
like
little bro and a big sister and a big bro and a.
That's the person like the year above or below you.
Yeah,
right?
they're kind of your mentor or your best friend depending on your relationship. So mine is definitely I'm more of her mentor, but her dad's very, very successful. Like COO of like a Fortune 500 company, successful. And she would tell me her monthly allowance. And I'd be like,
how much was it?
I don't know if I should say.
Yeah, no,
no one has any idea.
No one's going to know who this is.
I'm just afraid if she watches it.
But you never said her name.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in my videos. They'll probably know. But she gets, let's say it's like in the thousands.
But thousands could be like, there's a difference between 2,000
and 6,000.
9,000.
I would say like low thousands, like a couple thousand
3,000.
a month.
That's still
So $100 a day.
crazy. That's awesome.
$1,000 a month.
So
Well,
I'm in a
36,000
yeah. So I'm in a sorority where everyone's,
You're still in a sorority?
well, I'm an alumni now.
Oh.
So I guess you never leave the sorority.
No.
Yeah. Although I wanted to leave my senior year because I just thought it was stupid. Fun fact, I was treasurer of my sorority and we had monthly dues and I wouldn't make myself pay.
You wouldn't make yourself pay.
Do you know about this?
Because no one would know.
Yeah.
So there's fees. So it was $145 a month to be in my sorority. And there's like little fees, like a late fee if you didn't show up to a meeting on time. Have you ever talked to someone that was in a sorority?
Mm-mm.
There's really stupid
so.
fees. If you missed dinner, they would charge you $15 for.
What about the leader of the sorority?
The president?
Yeah. What if
She would still have to pay. She would always be at the meeting because she's the president. I was VP of finance. So I was in charge of, I put girls through collection.
What's that mean? Like actual collection?
Actual collection for sorority.
That wouldn't show up on a credit report, would it?
Oh, it did.
You're kidding me.
If they didn't pay their dues. I'm not.
Alex is laughing
How
over
is
there.
that?
Alex is cracking
How do you
up.
file that with all three credit bureaus?
So they got 3 notices, and I had to file it. And it wasn't.
So you'd lower the girl's
No,
credit.
but there's no way, because let's say you get a parking ticket. That doesn't show up on a collections. If you just never pay it, it grows to some exorbitant amount. That wouldn't show up on a collection. It's just you wouldn't be able to register your vehicle after a year. There's no way that would show up on a credit, because otherwise what would happen is like, if I want to screw you, Jack, I'd go and file with the collection agencies, get that on the report. You would dispute it. I'd be like, oh, I don't have it. And then it gets removed. But that puts you through a whole bunch of stuff. Otherwise, everybody would just be like, you know what? I'm going to screw your credit
I don't think you understand that sororities are companies. We have like 50,000 members. We have a headquarters. I mean, our income in my sorority was probably $300,000 to $400,000 just for my house.
Who collects? Let's say there's a profit. Who gets the profit?
Well, it's a non-profit.
Yeah, but okay. If
So
there's
it just
money
gets
left
paid
over,
out to the presidents and CEOs.
if there's money left over,
If there's
where does
money
it
left
go?
over, we actually had a lot of sororities and fraternities were broke at UCLA's campus. We actually had money and we wouldn't spend our money, and it would make me really upset because I'm like, I'm putting in these dues, but I'm not getting the reward. So we would spend this money on not parties, but like get-togethers.
Kickbacks.
Like Adrian.
No. We would renovate the house. We had a beautiful home in Holmby Park and Holmby Hills in UCLA. So beautiful home. But no, I would legitimately send these girls to collections. And I would send their paperwork, their social security, everything to the headquarters of Kappa Delta, which was the company or sorority I was in. And then they would do that. But I would give them a 3 months notice, 1 month, 60 days, 90 days. And I absolutely hated it, to the point where I would literally be like, I just need you guys to have a meeting with me so we can talk it out, and I will literally take everything out. But they would refuse to have meetings with me.
It just seems like you're getting like indentured servitude, and then like you're also paying into it, and then I don't know.
But at the same time, they agree to, like, when you sign up for a sorority, you're given the fees and everything.
You're paying them and you're working for them.
Oh, me as a VP of finance?
Yeah.
Yes, I guess. Was I getting paid anything? No. Which was why I wouldn't make myself pay for stupid fees like missing a party. Mm-hmm. Or I'd pay the monthly dues. It was more like
The minor
the t-shirts that were like $15. I wouldn't even tell my friends that I wouldn't charge them for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just wouldn't charge people for it sometimes. I'm going to get in so much trouble, but it's great. This is 7 years ago. It's fine. But going back to it, yeah. So a lot of my sorority friends were very well off, and I was so embarrassed that I would never tell them that I didn't have money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was always good with my money, so I always had money in a sense, but I didn't have their type of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's weird. Now I feel like it's almost a badge of honor not to come from money.
I agree.
Now it's like, oh yeah, no, started from the bottom. Now we're here.
True.
You know,
I think
like,
it's Drake that made us feel this way.
Yeah, I think so. But
what was your childhood like?
It definitely it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like growing up in the trailer park or anything.
I mean, we're
like
not
that,
competing in any
yeah,
way.
Oh yeah, my childhood was worse than that. But it does seem like sometimes there is that like, oh well, I had it worse.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just both my parents were paycheck to paycheck, so
Yeah.
it was just there were a few months where things were just like really tight, or I remember like my mom would not have money for the rent some months and would have to like, pay overtime, just stuff like that. But really supportive parents.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that what made you who you are today? Because they were living paycheck to paycheck?
I don't know. That was certainly some of it, but I don't know. I've always just been fascinated by money for some reason. Because I remember even as a kid, when like before I understood the concepts of like not having enough, I would like collect coins and stuff like that. Like I found that really interesting. It was my grandpa who told me like there's this 1909 S VDB penny that was worth like $2,000. And when I was a kid, I'd look at all the pennies to see if like I could find the 1909 S VDB penny. I've never found like it's rare it's almost impossible to find one in circulation. But I enjoyed that, and just like collecting things. I collected Tamagotchis. Remember those things?
Yes.
Those things are awesome.
Mine would always
loved
die.
those. Yeah. And when I was this would have been like first grade, I think. So this was like 1996. So yeah, I would have been like 6 years old. I loved Tamagotchis, and I'd collect them, and like for birthdays or Christmases, or like I would go see my grandparents. We go to Toys R Us. I'd buy a Tamagotchi, and I just collect them. So I had a fascination always for like money and collecting things.
What was the weirdest thing you collected?
I guess everyone collected Pokemon cards, so that's not weird. Tamagotchis would probably be like the weirdest thing. For a while, I collected fossils. I was obsessed as a kid with fossils.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't have any of them anymore, but like the stuff where like you get like a little circle with like a leaf print in it, and like that was old. I used to love those things. Collected fish and coral. That's not like that weird.
I mean, you're still collecting fish and coral.
Right, for the aquarium. Nothing weird. Oh, I collected toenails. I'm kidding.
The look on my face right now, I was like, I don't know if I can believe you.
I actually thought you were dead serious
No.
because when we were clearing out your place over on West Adams, my dad was sweeping the ground so we could sweep up all the trash.
Yeah.
And there was a collection of, I want to say, about 200 toenails.
No.
I swear.
That wasn't mine. That would have been the tenants.
Alex, look at Alex. He saw it.
I can't see Alex.
There were so many toenails. There were so many. And
in
there
a
were
plastic
like
bag or just underneath
there
the
were
rug?
cups and stuff like on the ground. So I was wondering if you had a cup like on the not on the chimney, but like right on that fireplace that got knocked over and spilled all your collection of toenails. I swear. And we filmed it too, but it was too gross to put it in the vlog. It was too gross.
I don't know if you're joking or not. So you have to swear on both of your parents that you're telling the truth.
I swear on both my parents, I'm telling the truth. I swear on both my parents, I am telling.
Put your hand to your heart and swear on both of your parents.
I swear on both my parents that I am telling the truth. Alex saw it. There was literally a collection of like, it was like a bundle of toenails.
Okay, now
I swear.
I'm gonna swear it's not mine. That must have been the tenants. What do your parents think of all your success? And what did your grandparents think of the whole YouTube journey? And
I feel like both my parents and my grandparents didn't find out about my YouTube journey until I was pretty successful. So then they were just very proud of me. But I will say I had a typical upbringing where my family wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer. So I actually went that route at UCLA. I was pre-med and then realized I hated all my science classes. So then I went business economics instead. But yeah, I came home from school like doing extra homework on top of my homework growing up. Like think of Tiger Mom, but
Tiger Mom.
Oh no, Tiger.
Oh, you've never heard of the term Tiger Mom?
No.
Imagine Helicopter Mom, but
Yeah, sure.
for Asians, and instead of being super controlling, it's controlling about your schoolwork and your grades. Like I got in trouble if I got a B type parents.
Wow. I got praised. If I got a C.
Are you serious?
If I got a C, my grades were so bad that if I didn't fail, it was a good thing.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It was throughout middle school, I almost failed so many classes. There were like, because we get the report cards, it was usually like F, F, D, F, F.
How could you do that?
I got A's in music and English.
That's amazing.
And then everything else was like D's and F's. And so I would get it to the bare minimum by the end of the year and of like a D or like a C minus at the end of the year.
And your parents wouldn't care? Would they care?
They would care, but were never like, you're grounded or any. I've never gotten grounded.
I got in big trouble if
Really?
I got bad grades. Big trouble. So I had to get good grades. Yeah.
No, I just was so checked out. I hated it. I couldn't stand
I don't understand
it.
how you could make that decision though, being 13 years old or whatever.
Didn't get
12.
the point. Did not get the point.
But I feel like you don't need to get the point at 12 or 13. Like you kind of just go with the flow. That's just a normal 13-year-old mentality.
Just didn't like it. 12, 13. So yeah, so 12.
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade was 12. Yeah, so I would have just gotten into the whole like aquarium thing, and I was spending all my time online. And I just thought like I think back then briefly I wanted to be a marine biologist. I was like, I don't need any of this.
My sister wanted to be a marine biologist.
Yeah. So I wanted to do that. But yeah, I was just getting into the whole like reef aquarium thing, and I'd spend all my time online. I'd finish school, go online on reefcentral.com, just chatting with people about aquariums.
So you weren't bad at school, you just didn't care enough.
Hated it. Yeah. I hated homework. Just didn't see the point. But I went to a really weird elementary school. It was called Smash in Santa Monica. And it would stand for Santa Monica Alternative Schoolhouse.
Oh.
And we didn't have grades for it. And I went there until 5th grade. We had no grades. We had really no like formal education. Our classes were straight up like, let's sit in a circle and talk about how we feel today. And just like, let's talk about like, who's
That sounds
your
like
favorite
the
friend?
anti-gram.
What?
To sit in a circle and talk about how you feel. You got all that out as a kid.
Yeah,
so
but you know what?
done.
But we didn't have homework. We didn't have grades. And I don't know what we learned. It was more of like a social school where they just talked about like what are you interested in? Oh, we could talk about that in the circle. And we'd have the talking stick. We'd have a talking stick and like now you share something about yourself and then the kid next to you goes, and I preferred that. So to go from that to a place where it's like, oh crap, we have like an assignment. I have to sit at a desk. Oh, that was the other thing. At Smash, we never had desks. It was a big table and you could sit wherever you wanted. I liked that.
So was that transition from Smash to normal schooling? Is that why you did so terrible?
Probably. I just hated it. But I liked Smash. I liked the aspect of just, you turn in a work, and as long as you like applied yourself, you're fine.
Do you know how the kids that went to Smash turned out relative to
almost everyone turned out not successful, but everyone is doing some really unique stuff. Yeah. I'd say most of them turned out really well.
And did they struggle once they assimilated with normal school as well?
Some of them really transitioned well, and some of them didn't. But yeah, no, we knew some really smart kids from Smash. Ended up going to like Harvard and Yale and like Ivy League schools, and other people just pursued their own thing. Wow. But yeah, I attribute that to kind of just thinking outside the box. So that's what I like.
I don't know if this is a rumor, but did you once say you dropped out of high school and then finished your GED, or am I imagining this?
Technically, well, I guess it doesn't matter now. Technically, I never graduated from high school. So I never did a GED.
Oh, wow.
But technically I failed. It was a Spanish class. And in order to get my diploma, I needed to have finished that class. And I was like 1 credit short. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't see the point of taking that class over summer. So when we did the graduation, they handed me a blank piece of paper.
But they still let you walk?
Yeah. Let me walk, but they did not give me a diploma. So I guess technically I don't have a high school diploma. Technically. But like I did everything. It's just minus the one Spanish class that I just was like, I didn't want to take it.
Wait, when you walked physically through your graduation, they didn't hand you anything?
No, they handed me a piece of paper. Like everyone got a diploma,
wow.
But mine was not a diploma. It was a piece of paper.
Dude, I didn't get a diploma either. I got a piece of paper as well.
I got a piece of paper as well.
Really?
I didn't get an actual
Why did
diploma.
you get a piece of paper?
I mean, I got my diploma like afterwards, but on the actual stage, it wasn't a real diploma. It was just a piece of paper.
Oh, as far as I'm aware, everyone got a diploma.
Everyone did. I was late on fees. I had fees. So I like after they did all that, I was like in my cap and gown. I had to walk down to the bookstore and pay fees, and they're like, "Okay, here's your diploma."
You know what? Yeah. Not everyone needs school. I graduated 6 years ago. I still don't have my UCLA diploma. It's a $40,000 piece of paper that what am I going to do with it?
It'd be cool to put up on the wall.
No, like
that's an expensive piece of paper.
That's true.
Yeah, I'd rather have $40,000 on the wall.
Yeah, imagine, right? Like so a little montage or a mirage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where do you see your career going? Do you see yourself making YouTube videos forever?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Part of me feels like, I mean, at least for the next few years, yes. Mm-hmm. But I admire the career of like Dave Ramsey. Look up to him a lot. Judge Judy, love Judge Judy. Dr. Phil, Joe Rogan. I love them. And so like if I were to have the perfect career, it would be like Judge Judy. I think just having like a 40-year-long career, highly respected, no controversies. Everyone loves Judge Judy. I want to be like her.
You know that show's fake, right?
What, Judge Judy?
Yeah.
No, it's not. What's fake about it?
Those are actors.
No.
Yes.
No, there's no way.
I don't want to burst your bubble.
There's no way.
You didn't just tell him that.
There's no way that's fake.
It's fake.
No, it's not. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's like, you're telling me like Santa Claus isn't real? I don't believe it. I don't
I'm
believe it.
going to look this up.
I don't think so. My understanding with Judge Judy is that the settlements, they're real cases. The settlements are paid for. So like when somebody owes like $1,300
because they appeared,
those things are paid. I would believe that she's a real judge.
Yeah, she's definitely a real judge.
I would believe that the situations were real. I would think that for a courtroom setting, you can't do that for like a TV series. And so it's like, these aren't maybe real legal cases, but the real situations that Judge Judy is doing.
Like mediation or something?
Right.
She could technically be like a mediator.
It's arbitrator, I think.
Yeah, here we go.
That's the next level.
So this Morris Law Center says, the cases shown are real cases, with the participants being persuaded to give up their lawsuit in a real court of law. The courtroom audience members, however, are reported to be all paid actors. Judge Judy was once a real judge, but now is arbitrator, a very high-paid arbitrator. Okay, so it's basically arbitration. And the courtroom audience members are actors, but the situations are real. And the cases are not legal lawsuits, but they are.
That's interesting.
Real situations.
So I'm glad I didn't burst your bubble. So it's still how you think of it.
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool.
Correct. Just like, by the way, Jerry Springer, apparently there are reported cases of people pretending on Jerry Springer.
Just to get on?
Right. But apparently, my understanding is they do their due diligence and they get real people on, but they pay all of their expenses. So people are like incentivized to go on there and play it up for the camera. But they are real people.
Do you plan on making YouTube videos forever?
It's a good question. I'd love to, but not just for the money. How do I explain this? I would love to keep making videos for the memories, more like when I have like my kid or I'm getting married, just so that I can look back on these videos in the future. I definitely want to do more vlog type style videos than anything else. But my real main goal in life is to actually start my own business and to become an angel investor. And I just don't know how to break into becoming an investor in other companies just yet.
Oh gosh, it's a crap show.
Because you're in a couple, correct? Are you allowed to say which ones?
4 of them, 5 of them. Yada Bank was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I could say a few of them. Oxygen Bank was another one. Juice was another one. That was with Mr. Beast's company.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, there's 2 other ones. Anyway, there's 2 other ones. At first, I was like, wow, this is so cool. You could go and be an angel investor. And then you begin to realize that there's so many of them out there, and they'll pitch you every day. Like once you invest in one of them, they're like, it's like a shark smelling blood. And now it's like every day, hey, we got this company, we got this company, we got this thing, we got this thing. And it's and the more I'm realizing, like, it's a lot of out there. And everyone wants you to invest, because then they could say, Graham Stephan invested in this. And this is a big wake-up call, because I invested in one, and immediately after investing in this one, they used my name as like, oh, Graham Stephan is an investor in this. And so now I'm like really careful, knowing that if I invest in something, they're going to use my name to get more investment just because I put some money in it. So I don't know. I think if you really like the company, sure, but they just want your money at this point, and the valuations sometimes make no sense. There was one, it was like a stock thing, and they wanted like $100 million valuation for something that was, I think they had like if 30, 40, 50,000 members on it, but like they weren't making money, but they wanted $100 million for it, and people were buying it up.
So is it something that you think would be lucrative for you?
Oh, Carrot. That was one of the companies, the Carrot credit card. That was one of them.
That's working out for you or not working out?
No, that was just one of the other companies that I invested in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Carrot is one of these things where like I'm skeptical on their ability to make money long term, but
their ability to provide value.
But they're providing so much value, and I like Eric. Eric is the creator, and I'm investing in Eric because I really believe in him. But I just think for Eric is given too much value, so that's my only thing is Carrot is giving so much to the creators who get the credit card. Oh, if you want the credit card, I could get you the credit card.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what Carrot is.
You don't have your wallet on you, right?
No, it's just right up there. I can grab it.
Alex, do you have your credit card with you?
And you can personalize it?
Yes, you could personalize it. And I don't know if I can't promise this is going to happen, but Eric so far has like personally delivered these credit cards. Like he shows up and like, here's the credit card. I'm like, Eric, you didn't have to do this, because he just likes meeting everybody. So
that's
Eric is
beautiful.
So yeah, so I will, if you want that credit card, I would get you the credit card. It's worth it. Okay. So anyways, that's a company.
What are the benefits of Carrot?
So they
3% on 3 categories that you pick.
3 to 5%.
I've only received 3.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
But yeah, it is advertised.
But you
as 3
get to pick the categories.
Yeah. So I picked camera, equipment, electronics, and auto, which would be gas, oil, change.
I think mine is like 5% cash back. I think mine's 5% cash back dining, 4% cash back electronics, 3% cash back. I forget what I picked.
So I will definitely be getting Carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And then they had special, because here's the thing, like I took advantage of this. They had these deals where it's like one day only 5% off everything. And they told me this like 48 hours in advance at the end of the year. So I maxed out the card. There was like, I think they gave me a $75,000 limit. I spent $75,000 in one day to get the 5% back.
You know, you can just put more money into your card.
What do you mean?
Like, so I only have one credit card. I need to get another one, but my limit is $12,000. And if I know I'm going to spend more than that, I'll just prepay so that it's like negative $3,000.
No, so this is different. This you link to your bank account, and every single like on a set day, it'll pull the money automatically from your account.
So you can't just choose to pay early?
No, and plus that wouldn't post on the same day. So even if I were to max it at $75K and then pay it off $75K and then max it out again, I don't think all of that would happen in the same day. But I prepaid like property taxes on there. I bought the refrigerator that day. I bought the piano that day. Everything that I was planning to buy, I purchased that day.
I expect once I get the carrot, you need to tell me 48 hours in advance when it's 5%
They let
off.
you know. They'll send you.
They didn't just tell you; they told everyone.
Yeah,
48 hours in advance.
Yeah, it was like a Black Friday deal. It's like, hey, for this Black Friday, everything you purchase is going to be 5% off. So I was like, all right, you sure? All right, well.
I mean, because like
going crazy.
Paying for your property taxes is a 3% charge for credit cards.
No, it was like 1% something.
Then oh my gosh,
it was like 1 or 2%. It made sense for me to
They're
charge
not
on the card
making
to
any
make money
money.
back. That's what I said, and I'm like, but you know what? Maybe it's only temporary. Maybe they're not going to do it anymore.
Well,
But-
after seeing what you did, they're probably not doing it
I'm a
anymore.
good beta tester.
I need to talk to you about all of my finance questions. I feel like.
Ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next question I guess would be how much more money should I put in the stocks? Because right now it's scary. I know what you know what it is. I have diamond hands, but too well. I don't know how to sell stocks.
That's
You
good.
don't need to sell.
You don't need to sell ever.
But didn't you just sell Doge?
We don't talk about that. It was too great of an opportunity. It would have got
Yeah.
cut in half.
I've been telling
all
Jack
the money
to
I
sell.
put in, it would have got cut in half if I didn't sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Doge, and I was looking at it when I was at 70 cents, and I was like, it's not going to go to $1, but I don't know how to sell it right now.
Why didn't
You don't know
sell?
how to sell? It's the same thing as buy, but just like the other.
That's what I said. I have diamond hands, but with bad companies. I'll stick with bad companies because I'm at that point. I'm like, well, I just don't want to sell it.
Where are you invested now? You're 180.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, I do. Let me
Is
see.
it all in Robinhood?
It is. It is all in Robinhood.
Can you screen record?
I can screen record. Oh my god, I cannot believe I'm showing you guys this.
Yeah, Robinhood. So step 1, get it off Robinhood.
I disagree. Use
Why?
Robinhood. I like it.
I like Robinhood.
Yeah,
I
get
downloaded
off.
Public and Webull,
Yeah.
both because of you. You're not even on Webull anymore,
Yeah, I am.
but you just don't talk about it anymore.
Public, I may have invested in Public. Yeah.
Another one. Okay, that makes sense.
I like Public. Public has the advantage of not routing your order flow. So
Okay.
which Robinhood does. So when the whole fallout happened with GameStop, Public was very vocal that they don't do that. They don't route your order flow. They don't sell your data to hedge funds. And
All right, let's check this out.
yeah, I like Webull though. Webull, in my opinion, has one of the best, most sophisticated interfaces out there for serious traders. Public is better, in my opinion, for a long-term investment that you're going to buy once and hold for a long time.
I'm gonna make
Let's see.
a really bad like connection. I would say Robinhood is like Apple, where the interface is so simple. Webull's is so difficult to learn.
Yeah.
You have
Webull is
to
Android.
learn how to do that. Yeah. All right. So Tesla. Let's see. So you bought average cost. Wow. Congratulations. Average cost of Tesla, $195.
Yes,
You're
I
going to
bought.
keep that.
Okay.
Don't sell that.
Is there any reason why you have like the little icon next to the stock as the price of the share rather than total return?
I just like knowing what the price is.
Shopify. Great buy at Shopify. Great buy. Great buy at Apple. Fiverr. Let's see what you bought Fiverr at. Fantastic. Beyond. This is the only one I think. Wow.
Beyond, I'm.
Yeah. Okay. So you're Beyond Meat is the only one where I would be. I mean, if you sold it, I wouldn't be upset over that because it just I felt it was a little hypey. Ultra Beauty. Never heard of this.
Ulta, one of the biggest like makeup department stores.
Okay. Overstock. Great. You did well. Zoom. Let's see what did you buy Zoom at? 306. All right. Well, I keep Zoom. Spotify. 207. Disney. Fantastic. I didn't even need to look at that. Wow, you bought Virgin. $20. Okay, Virgin is like
Where are you getting all of your stock
Adobe,
advice
Facebook.
from?
Nowhere.
You're just doing this on your own?
Yeah. See, I just look into companies that I would naturally use myself, so then I purchase their stocks.
You did well. There's nothing in here that
Oh, scroll down. Just scroll. It's some of them are pretty
Let's
bad.
see, Delta.
Aurora Cannabis, so bad.
Lemonade. You bought Lemonade. Yeah, that's a hypey one. Lemonade, I
There's
think,
Snap.
would
Yeah, I
recover.
personally have Lemonade insurance, so that's why I
Snap.
bought it.
Snap has done really well. Average cost 23. PayPal. I like it so far.
Ooh, McDonald's.
A lot of these are the free stocks that I got. So if you see like a bunch of random stocks at the very end, it's just.
I don't see anything in here. Gap. I don't see anything in here that's like, oh wow, I can't believe you have that. Yeah, I don't see anything in here that's bad. I like it, actually. I would say you did really well on this. My only advice would be to just start buying index
what's your
funds
crypto
now.
look like?
Oh,
real
do you want
quick?
to see my crypto?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow, you have a lot.
I bought every single one that was available on Robinhood because I was like, might as well. Might as well.
Nice. 6 cent average cost on Dogecoin.
Wow.
And you had, how much Dogecoin do you have? 30,000. Ethereum.
So should I sell my Doge?
At this
Diamond
point,
hands.
I just hold it.
Just hold it.
Yeah.
How much are you spending or saving every year on your taxes by living here?
Probably $400,000 to $500,000 just to live here. So that's why like everything here is, in my opinion, free. Even the car, that would have been $30-something thousand of sales tax to pay for the car.
That's
here,
a small Tesla.
nothing. No sales tax here.
There's no sales tax
on
here?
used private car party car purchases, no sales tax.
What?
So it's got to be private party and used. If you buy this from a dealership, they're gonna charge you like 7-something%. Private party, nothing.
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have a really good accountant?
She's good, but I think my taxes now have gotten to a point where this year I'm probably gonna need like a
team?
I don't know, a team probably. Yeah, it's just now things are getting so nuanced that she's been really good up until this point where I feel like...
Did she fuck up?
No, it's just... I think I need...
The amount of money you could be leaving on the table.
Yeah,
By not,
I think I need something a little bit more sophisticated at this point.
Okay.
It's just everything is so nuanced that even for me, I'm trying to research stuff like this that I have no idea what I'm doing now. Now it's in a league that I don't know how to navigate it.
I can't believe you're saving $500,000.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But for you too, you would be saving 60?
Probably, yeah.
$60,000. Maybe even we'll call it 50. We'll call it 50. $50,000 that you could save. And real estate is half the price, twice the size.
Have you said
Everyone
how
is
much
here.
this house costs yet?
Yes. I paid $1,440.
What?
Yeah. And then I put $115,000 in the backyard with the pool. So I'm in at $1,560. And it's worth right now about $1,750.
That's crazy. That's impressive.
Right. But this in Los Angeles would be like $3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's in a gated community, which is nuts.
It was a really nice gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, what's crazy too is that we're in an HOA, obviously, but we're in an HOA within another HOA. So this area is an HOA like in itself, and then this community is another HOA.
How much are your HOAs a month?
This one is $220. The other one is $110, I think. So I think the total is like $330 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll link to all of our information down below in the description, including your channel. Make sure, by the way, to get your free stock worth all the way up to $50 on Public because it's pretty much like free money. And even better, guess what? When you deposit $100 in the platform, 3 people are going to get a chance to win a completely free stock of Tesla. 3 people.
How many people?
3 times the number as before. And surprise, I mean, I can't give out exactly how many people took me up on the last offer. You had a pretty good shot at getting a free stock of Tesla. I think people are under the assumption that, everyone's going to be doing it. I was shocked. I was shocked at the true number of people who did this. So based on the last one, it was better odds than I would expect. That's all I could say. And now 3 people are getting it. So deposit $100 on Public. Enjoy. Get your free stock.
Thank you so much for watching. And until next time.
Welcome back to this 55th. We're going to have to do this again.